podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Before I start the review, I don't know what I was thinking, but I really screwed up the names of Adamy's brother and sister, the twins. It's Edric. I heard Patrick. I don't know why in the world I thought it was that. So whenever you hear that, I'm an idiot. I do apologize. I suck so bad at names, even in real life. It just takes me a while to learn people's names. So yeah, I really screwed that up. So I'm apologizing ahead of time. So just slay me in the comments that I completely called him the wrong name, but it's Edric, not Patrick. On to the actual review. Episode 12 of the Owl House, and I'm happy to report this is much better than episode 11, where that was mainly forgettable with nothing was added to the story. This one actually has Luz learn some stuff. We get to see some fun interactions, how the magic system is different for Luz than it is for the other witches. Some pretty cool stuff. There is the ridiculously stupid and unnecessary B plot involving King that has nothing to do with anything. You can cut that whole entire plot out of the episode and you lose nothing. Unless you just like hearing King talk because he got the silly voice. No, thank you. But everything else is actually pretty good. There are some silly moments with the monster and how they beat it and everything, but it's definitely a lot better. So the complaints are going to be few except for when we get into King's storyline. But we jump right in, and Luz is, because remember, she's going to get enrolled into Hexside. So she's super excited about getting into school, and she's like reading the pamphlet or whatever to like, all the stuff. So she's all about it now. She wants to learn every little thing about the history and stuff. Eda shows up and she's like, hey, guess what day it is, whatever. And they're all like, oh, is it my birthday? No. It's their day that she gets her trash collecting from the human world. I would like for Luz to make some more contact with her mom. Has she sent her any letters? I'm assuming that kind of stuff happens off screen, but you think her mom would want to see stuff like, oh, do you have any pictures or anything? Did you make any friends? Like nothing. Her mom's just cool with her just being gone for, how long has it been? A couple of months or something? I don't know. But it's trash day to get stuff. And then look at here. We have all kinds of stuff and all kinds of background gags. We got Solid Snake here and a game console of some kind. But yeah, they're going to go digging through all the trash and start picking things out. And King, if King disappeared from the show, I would be just delighted because everything he does and says is just unnecessary. He's collecting like teddy bears and stuff. Oh, okay, whatever, not funny. Eda's like, oh, check out this magnificent earrings. It's just a hanger. They don't have hangers. I'm pretty sure they have hangers. And where do they put their clothes? Anyways, Luz doesn't even care. She's like, oh, you can have all my, I don't even want to cut. I'm just so excited about going to school. And backstory here, does this come back into play or is it just like a fun little note? Apparently Hexside was founded on the, like they destroyed a rival school. They built their school on top of it. So they kill everybody. A very violent past. But I'm guessing the headmaster was one of the founding members, and that's kind of cool. And Eda's like, yeah, I know all these things. I went there. I hated that thing. And then she has even the most 90s Latina didn't have earrings this big, but she absolutely she flips her hair. She's actually really cute. I like Eda. She's one of my favorites. But she's like, oh, I forgot. I was supposed to meet up with Amity and I was supposed to get my book back. Remember, she let her borrow one of the Good Witches Zora books. Well, she still haven't explained how these books both exist in the witch world and in the human world, but it seems like the human world has the newer books. That's so weird. I still believe that my theory is that the Good Witch is a real witch and she sold her books in the human world and in the witch world just to make double the money or whatever. So she's actually a real person. Kind of like in My Little Pony with Daring Do. It's very, that's the way I think it's going to work out. Does it ever come into play? I don't know, but I think it'd be kind of cool. So I got to go meet Amity. I'm going to stay away. The shippers are out of their minds. That's all they care about. It's not even that important to me. I'm just glad Luz has a friend. With Willow and Gus are nice, but it seems like Amity would be more of that friend where she can like practice magic with, and it's a different kind of friend. Not necessarily like the goofball stuff with the other two, but I don't know. She's walking through the thing, she sees her, and then the twins pop up, and they have names. My God, what are their names? I'm I'm historically horrible with names. It took me how long to learn Rogelio's name? I said 5 seasons for me to get his name right. Patrick, he has a normal sounding name, so I'm going to be okay with him. And Emira, odd name. I'm probably going to forget it even in this freaking review. But anyways, they pop up and they're, oh, hey, Luz, how's it going on? So I guess they all came to the market. That episode in the library, the twins came off as almost like bad guys because they honestly didn't care about all the destruction they were causing and all the bad stuff that they did and how they were going to, publish their little sister's secret diary to everyone in the school. But here it seems like they're trying to make up for it. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry for what we did. And they're still goofing on her because she's the little sister and that's what they're going to do. But they seem to be more like a brother and sister and not so much of like, the antagonist. So that's nice. I like family dynamics and this is a fun one. And so they're just kind of messing around and everything. And of course, Luz gets the book back. She goes, oh, what'd you think? Oh, it was okay. But she wants to have this big giant discussion because Luz just loves her books, loves the character. And she wants to have like a discussion, like a big discussion back and forth. And you could tell Amity probably feels the same way, but she's more reserved. She doesn't want to let her fangirl out, so to speak. But she's looking through the page. She's like, oh, wow, you thought it was so okay that you drew yourself with the mysterious guy or whatever. I love the way she draws because that's how like junior high kids draw. It's very funny. It's super cute, but she's super embarrassed and it's her with the guy. So, okay, take that, shippers.
It was fine. So fine. You drew yourself with Malingale, the mysterious soothsayer.
But she burns it up because she's super embarrassed. And then Luz is like, hey, maybe we can start a Good Witches or a book club because we're going to be going to the same school. She's like, what do you mean going to the same school? Yeah, I'm going to enroll into Hexide and we're in the same class. Here's the thing. Would she really be put into the same class? Wasn't Amity's like supposed to be like an advanced classes, which I thought was really weird because she was like, her mentor was Lilith. So you thought she would be in, I don't know, in like AP classes, but it just seems like she's in normal classes and isn't all that great at magic. So I don't know, but she's like, oh, if you want to be in a class, you have to at least know 2 spells. Okay, that's not very advanced. I mean, we've seen everyone who's at Hexide knows more than 2 spells. So what's the deal here? I just think that they kind of fumbled their mythology here about how this school works and how strong at magic certain characters are, but whatever, just 2 spells. I kind of have an issue with this whole plot line because you think Luz would have been like, oh, cool, help me learn another spell. But she lies about knowing an extra spell. She's like, oh yeah, Ida taught me all kinds of powerful magic. And she just like does this gigantic lie. I don't know, why did she do this? I thought that she would use this as an opportunity to spend more time with Amity, spend more time with the twins. But she doesn't. It's super weird because she's never been embarrassed like this. She's been happy to show everyone her freaking fan fiction and her crappy drawings and everything. But now all of a sudden she's super embarrassed and insecure. Whatever. It moves the plot. But I guess if you don't get into like normal class, I thought she was in advanced, but whatever. Normal classes, you have to go to baby class. Oh, it's with the babies. So is this school K through 12? Like it has every grade? Because we saw like what would be like preschool classes and like kindergarten all the way up to, I'm assuming Amity's brother and sister are like high school aged and they're junior high. So I guess everyone's in all one school building. But they're like, oh yeah, maybe we can go practice together. That'd be cool. Again, I thought she would jump at the opportunity to spend time, but she does. Like, oh no, I have more special training I got to do. And they believe it because the owl lady is like, famous for being a powerful witch and everything. So she goes back home. Little gags here, which are funny, but it leads into stupid B plot. But the actual cooking gag's kind of funny. She's not going to cook herself. She's going to make her food cook itself. Why did I think that would work? Yes, actively go kill yourself. Literally making the food make itself.
All right, everybody in the pot. Why do I always think that's gonna work?
Luz runs in there. Oh, you gotta teach me another spell. You gotta teach me another spell. I like this back and forth because she kind of lets Ida know, hey, you should have been teaching me this whole time. She's like, whose fault's that? It's your fault. You never taught me anything. She's like, oh yeah, that is true. But I've been reading some of my old books and everything about the first witches, and that's how Luz is learning her magic is like the classic way where you just like draw it from like elemental energies and like the basic elements, while other witches, they have like, remember how she explained that they have like that magical gland and they make the circles and that's how they make their magic. So it's kind of nice to know that Ida does care. She's super lazy and doesn't want to get involved, but you can tell she's actually putting some effort in because she does care about it. She just doesn't know how to like outwardly say it all the time. But she's like, okay, are you ready to learn? Because we need to go to like basically like a boot camp of type of lesson. Can King just go away forever? Oh, I should run the boot camp. We'll be up at dawn. You have to do what I say. And whatever. He's stomping his little foot. No, it's not cute. It's irritating. So they go to the snowy area, and I absolutely love these outfits. I love her little hat. I want one of these little hats. It never gets cold in Arizona, but it's pretty cool. So they go to the knee, which is the knee of that giant monster that the land is built on. These things were like titans or whatever, and then they live amongst its corpse, which is really creepy. They never explained like what the hell this thing was, but that's kind of cool. How big is this world? The Boiling Isle is just basically this skeleton. Are there other islands? I'm assuming there must be, like their magic work differently. I want to know more about this world so bad, but they only give us little bits and pieces here and there. So they're going to go train out in the mountains. She says the knee is a very powerful concentration of magic. So you're going to be able to feel the energy flows and everything. Wow, she's acting like a real teacher because she does know her stuff. I just think that she has to care a little bit more, but they're all super excited. Very cool visuals here. I like the way that the skeleton guy looked. I like the way that the hills and everything, there's some like ruins and stuff. Pretty cool stuff. We run into a creature and she's like, yeah, but it's very dangerous. There's this thing here and it looks like a wampa, but she's like, hey, you leave him alone, he'll leave you alone, just whatever. I like how Luce like did like blue like raspberries or whatever, then it looked up and then she got all scared. Yes, leave that thing alone, it could totally eat you. As you can see, they're going through the stuff. She's teaching her stuff and everything. Lo and behold, the twins and Amity are up there practicing magic too. And she's like, oh no, I can't let them see me. She's super embarrassed. Again, I don't know why. You think she'd be like, oh, let's all practice magic together. But she like didn't want to do that. She's like, oh no, just make me disappear. I love this joke. The joke's actually really funny.
Teaching me a spell, just make me disappear.
Well, okay, but I've got a 60-40 record of making you reappear.
I mean, I'm able to bring you back though. They see each other like, hey, Luce, get over here. Why don't you show some of that cool magic? And she's like, oh, I'm just, practicing my stuff. And I'm going to be hanging out with, my teacher. And, oh, it's like secret. And I think that was pretty cool. And I do like the fact that Amity kind of covers for Luce here. She's like, hey guys, I thought she wants to show us, her secret techniques. Let's focus on my work. That was cool of her. That was a really cool friend thing to do. And then like, oh, you have to taste everything. You get to be able to tell the different kinds of snow by eating the different kinds of snowballs. Like, as long as you don't eat the yellow snow, right? Just look at this. You want a girl who can pull this off.
I don't think the owl lady wants to show us any of her powerful spells.
She like 12 snowballs in her mouth. I do like the fact that Patrick is like willing to try it. He's like gonna eat a snowball. I'm like, don't do that. That's gross. He's like, because she's powerful. There must be a secret to how strong and powerful that Ida is. So like he's at least willing to try her lessons. She keeps like trying to like not really teach her in a conventional way, the way that Luce would want. Luce has to understand your magic's not like everyone else's magic. Your magic is a very old magic that a lot of people don't know about. Just listen. But she's super impatient and everything, and she just wants to impress everyone else. Like, oh, I can do magic just like you. But you don't do magic like everyone else. I just thought Luce should have been a little more understanding here instead of so pig-headed about it. But it's nice to see Ida trying, even though it's like in a weird, crazy Yoda kind of way. But there's a reason why she's teaching you these things. So we see that Amity's actually doing like attack magic. Like she blows up a tree with this big fireball and she's like able to do all this stuff. I'm like, okay, this is very offensive magic. Like before we seen her make like those abominations, but they're just kind of like these slug goop monsters. This is like something that would kill somebody. Like that's not even like, oh, you hit a tree branch and knocked it off. No, you exploded the tree. That would have killed you if it hit you. But apparently she has a training wand. And I guess this thing amplifies your powers. I guess they don't explain exactly what it does or how it works, but that's what it seems like. It makes it to where you can cast spells a lot easier, and it gives you like an extra boost of power. Lu's like, oh, I want to learn like that. And she's like, no, she's trying to teach her. You got to feel the energies. You got to do these things. And she's like, okay, so, okay, what's next? You got to smell the moss. So she's doing all these things that are just kind of irritating Luz, but there's a method to the madness, right? Oh my God, B-plot. See how there was like, I was excited in my voice and the way I was talking about it, like, oh, I can't wait to see what's next. It's a tonal shift. King wants to be the one to run the boot camp, but they're not even there. So he's going to run a boot camp with all his toys. So he's like playing pretendsies. This is so stupid. He makes mention here. I want to play the clip.
Is ludicrous. I once led armies. I can lead a dang boot camp.
So was he a big, powerful demon lord king guy before where he had armies and stuff? If that's so, why is he so childlike and he doesn't? It's so weird. There's so many ways this can go. Over in my Discord, go join my Discord. There's a link in the description below. People were talking about this and like, well, maybe he was a big, powerful demon king lord, but when he got transformed into this, he forgot a lot of stuff. Then he like became more childlike. Or maybe he never was the demon king and he's like this, like the prince, like he's the son of a demon king and he was just a spoiled brat. Those two things actually make a little bit of sense. But as it stands now, it's just weird. So he's lining up all his little dudes and, you know, he's just being silly. I'm going to be the leader of all of you. Then he sees that the fruits and vegetables that Edict brought back to life, like threw a bunch, all the pots and pans away. He's like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll use that. So he's going to bring his dolls to life. Whatever. Back to the actual story. Lu's like, yep, I organized all the rocks. I know the different kinds of snow. I even found your hand. And she's like, okay, so what's next? And she just hates the idea that she's being taught differently, but you are different. There's not like there's anything wrong with it, but you have to learn your magic differently. It's because she sees the twins and she sees the Amity doing all kinds of explosions and they're like shooting magic at each other. And it's just really cool. And she's like, I want to do that stuff. I want to get into it. And that'd be like, you know, you want to learn to play basketball and you watch, you know, a real practice, like people are dunking, they're passing, they're doing all the different crossover dribbles. And you want to start doing that, but you're not there yet. That's not what we're here for. And I think things would have been a lot better for Luz's training environment if they weren't there, because it's a distraction and she really needs to learn focus. And that's kind of what Ida's telling her. She's like, you need to know, because you draw from the elements, from like the raw power of the planet. What is the Boiling Isles telling you? Look at this right here. You see the landscape of the big, I'm going to call it a Titan. They didn't even give this thing a name, but the corpse of the Titan, just look at it. What is it telling you? Feel its energies. Like you have to like meditate. And Ida leaves her there. Just sit here and let the Isle talk to you. Which I thought was like, wow, that's a real lesson. Something Luz actually does need to learn. She needs to learn temperance and she needs to learn focus, and meditation and feeling the energy flow through her will help her with that. She kind of doesn't do it. And she kind of does this weird, it's supposed to be funny, but it's just, it's not psychotic. It's just a little strange.
Focus? On what? On how you'll be stuck in the baby class?
No! Don't think like that!
Face it, you'll never get a second spell following Ida's lessons.
She starts to breathe and think about it, but then she starts talking to herself in her hands like hand puppets. Oh, you're going to be in the baby class. Oh, you can't learn a spell. Oh, it goes back and forth for a while. It's really weird that she sees that it's the twins and Amity are going to go have dinner time. So she leaves her spell book there and her wand, and then Luz has the amazing idea to go steal it because I want to learn the way she's learning. Oh, we get back to B-plot. He lines up all the toys, and he's like being like a sergeant. Oh, you worthless pieces of garbage. You know, the very kind of like, you know, drill sergeant that calls everyone like bad names and everything. And pours the liquid on them, and they come to life. And yeah, he's gonna make them go get snacks. This B plot is awful. It's horrific. The one that he liked, the new bear, and he's like talking more crap to him than to the other ones. And then his eyes turn red. It's like, okay, they're gonna like rebel against them. Whatever. This plot's stupid. I do like the fact that Patrick went and got a bat and he was gonna eat it. Coronavirus. He's like, no, if I can't eat it, I want to keep it as a pet. So he's like trying to run off with it, and they're chasing after him.
Give me the bat.
No! If we're not gonna eat it, I want to keep it as a pet!
Get back here before that thing bites you!
That's funny. This is like a real family. I'm glad they're more like a real family now, not just like, oh, my older siblings are a bunch of jerks and they just hate me. No, they honestly do love their little sister and they're actually teaching her magic. I'm glad this dynamic has changed into like a real family, which is really cool. She sneaks in there, grabs the wand and the book. I do like the fact I love this little picture that Amity drew of herself, like being this great wizard lady. It's super funny. I love it. She's able to do like a fireball spell and it blows up and it looks really cool and everything. This is like training wheels, right? So she's not really doing anything. I guess this would be like learning the forms and it's like helping you like to keep your circles straight and everything, and not necessarily you putting any of your own magic into the spell, because you can see this thing has like a battery, right? So she's having all this kinds of fun with it and everything. And then Ida walks up. She's like, what the hell are you doing with that thing? I thought I told you you don't need that. It's literally a crutch. You're going to learn magic the real way and you're going to do it with your own magic, not using this stupid dinky little wand. Of course, Luce is all mad at her, but Ida says your magic is different. You got to learn differently. Is Ida the best teacher? But she was right here and Luce is 100% wrong. And she, oh, look at the cool magic I can do. And then she like uses all of the power and does like a big firebomb, shoots it off into the forest, and she hit that freaking monster, that Wampa thing. So it's gonna go chase after her. And it's like, oh, this thing's gonna kill us now. I thought it was weird that Ida didn't like start attacking this thing right away, but she kind of just like lets it like linger and stuff. And she gets caught, protecting Luce, but she does get caught. And I'm thinking, oh my God, she's dead. the twins and Amity show up and they're like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? Amity looks at Luce and she sees that she has her practice wand in her book. And she's like, what? She has that look on her face like, what the hell, Luce? Why did you take my stuff? You can tell just from here, she's hurt. You know, the twins, you know, they're like, hey, we got bigger problems. We got this freaking monster to deal with. So we got to do something about this. Whatever Luce was doing, stealing stuff, that's something we're going to have to deal with, you know, later. But right now we got a monster. I thought it was a little strange that Emira and Patrick weren't too scared. Like they're almost little too I don't want to say, just like they were dealing with something small. This is a big monster. So they walk up there, but since they're twins, they're going to already have that closeness that, you know, but they're using their magic simultaneously. And I do like the fact that their magics are slightly different colors. I don't know what track they are on. Is it illusion or is it something else? Because if it's illusion, you shouldn't be able to actually, these ropes wouldn't work. I'm assuming this is more like making constructs, you know, very Green Lanternish, right? But they use their magic to kind of bind this thing and pull it to the ground. They honestly believed that Luce had powerful magic. And like, here, finish it off. And then Amity's going to do a big fire spell, but the training wand was completely out of juice. And she's like, did you use all of it? And then Luce's like, I didn't know how this thing even worked. I didn't know that's what I did. And they're like, hey, Luce, why don't you just use your magic, all the cool magic you learned? And she's like, oh, actually, I don't know any magic. They all get knocked out. It breaks free of the ropes and grabs. So it grabs Emira and Patrick, and it also has Ida. And it just takes off. I'm like, well, you let your master die, and now you put Amity's brother and sister in peril, all because you wanted to goof off and learn the wrong way. You messed up, Luce. You messed up pretty bad. These pauses are intentional because I just can't deal with this B plot. So the dolls are getting him. I'm going to go through it real fast. Dolls are getting him stupid chips. He's being a big fat lazy moron. He's talking crap to the bear. The bear's getting more angry at him. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go take a nap. Oh no, they surround him. They're going to beat him up. Okay, now back to the real story. And I like how Amity lays into Luce here. And she's like, you're going to get my brother and sister killed. You're going to get your teacher killed, all because you just couldn't just learn the way you were supposed to learn. Why did you do this? You know what? You're going to stay behind because not only are you no help, you can see in her voice, and then she says it.
You'll only get hurt.
And she doesn't want her to get hurt either because you only know your one light spell. You know, it can blind a monster, but this thing doesn't even look like it has eyes, but I'm sure it does. So she puts her like in a magical wastebasket. That's what it looks like, or a basketball net. Then she's like, you're staying behind. Then in this moment, we have something called character growth. Ooh, it says it's so magical. That's the real magic. She's sitting there and she's like, damn it. She knows she freaking caused people might die because of her. And she's like, all I know is this stupid light spell. And she does it and sends it up and then it just pops. Then she sees the stars. And then she sees the light symbol amongst the stars. and then the snow starts melting in her hand and makes a new glyph, a new rune. And I'm thinking, so the planet's teaching her? This is very Moana, right? Like the spirit of the ocean, like, you know, was helping her along. So is this like this, the essence of magic is helping Luz? But why? It's so, I don't know. We don't get an answer, and I'm glad we don't get a lot of answers, because it keeps you wanting to see what's going to come next. This is really cool. This whole scene is great. I give this scene a 9 out of 10, because she starts to realize, oh, maybe I do need to listen. The island is telling me, is teaching me, and its magic can flow through me. So she makes the symbol, and it allows her to make like an ice pillar. She became May. She learned Ice Wall, and she's like, oh, this is freaking awesome. So she makes a big one, and it like launches her out of the thing. And I thought, oh my goodness, she's gonna hit the ground and like totally break her neck. But I guess there's enough fresh powder that she's able to like hit it and like it doesn't hurt her. So she's gonna be on her way to go help. Get back to B plot. King gets thrown out of the house, which is the best part of the B plot, is him being thrown out because he's a moron. And he's like, he didn't want to let Hootie join on the fun. Oh, you can join me now. But then here's the thing. I actually think Hootie's a better character than King. While Hootie is irritating, it comes from a place of like innocence, and he's not trying to be irritating. King just is a jerk and an ass. So I'd rather have the ignorant moron than the person who knows he's being bad and just does it anyways. So he's trying to get him to join, and he's like, here, I'll do this for you. And like drew him a body. Like he gave him like a bubble butt. It's so weird. Whatever. Then he's like, okay, I need you to get these animals out of here. I thought he was gonna, since he is the house, he's gonna be able to like expel them out of the house. No, he like rips them apart. Okay, whatever. Get back to the monster. Thank goodness this monster just doesn't eat them. Puts them on the wall and like plasters them to the wall. Gets to eat them later. Oh, so lucky. I do like the fact like, oh, we'll get out of here. Then we see like a bunch of skeletons, and it's like, no, we're totally dead. I know Luz is happy that she learned another spell, but she's being an idiot. She's goofing off. Here's a clip.
That's right. Death is here. Just kidding. Luz is here.
Hey, we're gonna die. Stop goofing off. She's like, I'm gonna save you guys. I'm so happy. And then it's just super weird. It's just an odd scene, because she should have been like, hey guys, I'm gonna find Amity. We're gonna get you out. Don't worry. I learned some new magic. I'm excited, but here we go. I'm gonna stay safe, stay quiet. No, she's like super loud and just obnoxious, whatever. Runs into Amity. Amity's like, how'd you get out of there? Oh, I learned a new spell. But I got a plan. Every time they get into a situation like this, I think, okay, what's the plan going to be? And it's just super simplistic. This is probably the worst part of this episode. Luz is like, hey, big dum-dum, come chase me. And she's able to outrun this thing. This thing can bound 80, 90 feet in seconds. How in the F is Luz able to outrun this thing? Wouldn't it have been better if she would have set a bunch of traps, like a bunch of the little glyphs? So when it was running, it was slipping on ice, and she was making little ice blocks for her to only fit under and slide, causing obstacles. No, she's just able to completely outrun this thing. No, that I don't believe it. She outran the whatever, that big bat queen lady. It's just not realistic. She's just a little girl. She shouldn't be able to physically outmaneuver these giant monsters that can kill things in seconds. I digress. As she's distracting the monster, Amity shows up, and she's like, hey, I'm going to save you guys. And they're like, oh, I'm going to use she's like, use your fire spell. She's like, oh, no, I'm not going to be able to. She's like, yes, you can. You can do it. You don't need the training wand. You have the power in you. She does it, and it works.
Okay.
I like the fact that such Emera, oh my goodness, it's going to take me forever to remember her name. Emera is like, oh, I didn't think you'd be able to do it. But it's enough to like melt this goop, which I guess that would work. We say, oh no, Luz is still in trouble. She was able to get outside. The monster's there, and then she drew a big trap circle thing for the ice pillar and like launched it into the air. This thing's pretty big. Yeah, this is going to hurt it a little bit, but it's not going to stop it. Wouldn't it have been better for her to set up a bunch of those things and make like an ice cage? I don't know. I guess I'm a better thinker. Everyone's free now. And I like how Ida's like, hey guys, you guys want to see something cool? She does the big sleep spell and just knocks it out. Super simple. It brings the episode down just a little bit, but not too bad. Like, woohoo, we did it. And she runs up to Ida and she's like, you know what? I listened to the island. You were right. I had to let the energy flow through me. I learned this new spell, and she's happy. And I really like how the head pats.
Did you see? I learned my second spell. I made the connection.
I saw. Nice work, kiddo.
The head pats of, let me just scruff up your hair, brings out the scamp in you. Of course, Patrick and Emma are proud of their little sister because she was able to do the fire spell without it. So they give her the little head scruff thing too. While Luz loves that kind of attention, Amity kind of doesn't. Oh, I don't want that. But of course, it's nice. It's nice to be recognized, especially by family members or people you respect. But I guess she learned a second spell, so they're going to be in another. They're going to be in the same class now. I like how Lucy's like, so we're going to do the book club. She's like, okay, yeah, we'll do the book club as long as it's secret. See how Lucia's so open and wants to do these things? Why wouldn't she like that about learning magic with her friends? See how she had these two different kind of personalities in this episode? It works out. I just thought it was a little weird. I like how Patrick and Emma are like, oh, we're going to tell everyone, so it's not going to be secret. But of course, they're just joking with her. And then Ida's like, I'm sick of all this friendship. It's actually literally making me sick. We got to go home now. And I guess they're going to go there by launching themselves there. That is so dangerous. But doesn't her broom fly? Whatever. But that was a funny little gag. Now, they get home and the house is freaking destroyed. Well, I guess it was almost like, is this like a Vietnam War flashback scenario? Like, okay. Because Hootie's like, oh, we made a bond on the battlefield and everything. And then they come home and look, what the hell are you idiots doing? Oh, you wouldn't understand what we've been through. We've made connections and stuff. It's like, okay, what the hell, guys? And, it ends on a pretty funny joke.
I will be haunted by my actions forever. Hoot hoot!
Overall, much, much better. I want episodes like this where stuff's moving forward. We get some cool magic. We learn some stuff about the island. We see that Ida actually does care. She would make an amazing teacher, like an unbelievably awesome teacher if she puts her mind to it. Much like how if Luce puts her mind to it, she can be an amazing witch too. So I'm glad that we have episodes like this. This is actually probably one of my more favorite episodes, especially after the last one that was just so bleh. But overall, very, very good. Highly recommend this episode. Again, I'm trying to churn these out as fast as I can. I'm probably not going to catch up before the newest one, but I'm going to get pretty close. Thanks for watching, guys.
Hey, Private Ding Dong, snacks are that away.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15 Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.